What's going on? Josh from Zendesk, and today I want to show you how to work with Zendesk Sell. Let's jump into it and take a look at how it works. The first thing you'll see when you log into your account is the dashboard. The dashboard gives you a complete view of everything that's happened in your account, and on the right side I can see upcoming tasks, and on the left I can see various metrics. Across the top of the screen I can see my leads, which are brand new people that I'm trying to sell to. I can see contacts, which is my address book, and then I have my sales pipeline, which is under deals. I also have my calendar, tasks, and email, as well as reports. But for now, I want to talk about leads. Leads are people who I'm just beginning to sell to. Think of them as there may be an opportunity there. I haven't verified it yet. So in order to do that, I want to add them into my account. In order to add a brand new lead, I will select Add at the top of my screen and then type in Lead. The great thing about Sell is you don't have to worry about manually entering in tons of different information. So rather than having multiple windows open where you're transferring data back and forth, you can just type in an email address and Sell will do the rest. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In this case, I will type in the email of someone that I just met, and when I type it in, Sell will begin to look at 33 million contacts and try to identify who I'm talking about. In this case, I can see that Sell has identified who the person is, and when I select Enrich, it will tell me more information about Brian, and you can see it automatically filled in all his information. This looks pretty good, and now I will just hit Save and View Lead, and everything's automatically added. So again, I'm saving time by just clicking a button rather than typing in all this information manually. What's cool is with just an email, I've unlocked a rich profile on Brian, and I can see all the information about him. And that's hosted here on the left-hand side of my screen. Now in this lead card, I can add a note if I'd like to. So maybe there's something specific I need to remember. I can type that in under my notes. Or if I'd like to send an email, Sell integrates automatically with my email account. In this case, I would like to send an email. So what I'll do is click Send Email, but rather than typing out the entire email myself, I'm going to use an email template. So to do that, I click on the email templates, Insert Template, and I'm just going to use my checking in template in this case. And you can see that the email template is automatically filled in all the information pulling from the card, and I hit Send, and away we go. Now this email has been sent out, and I can even see with my open tracking that this email has not been viewed yet. So that's a great advantage of sending the email with Sell. Additionally, if I were to look in my Gmail account, which is what I currently have connected, I would see this email in my outbox too. So whether I send it from Sell or Gmail, it's automatically tracked and associated to the lead card. Now let's say that I begin to have this conversation, it's going well, and rather than just sending an email, I'd like to make a phone call. What I can do is click on any phone number in Sell and automatically dial from my computer. So here I'll click on this phone number and select Call via Browser. When I do that, I can see that the information pops up, Sell begins to make the call for me, and on this call I can even access scripts, take notes if I want to. In this case though, I'll just hang up because Brian's not available. And I'll say that there's no answer, add additional notes like try again later, and hit Save. And once that call is complete, I can see that this call is automatically tracked. And if I have recording on, I can even record that phone call. So very quickly, all of my interactions are tracked, and if another coworker were to come and look and see Brian's profile, they would see all of the information there and the history of our communication, which is incredibly helpful when you're trying to maintain personal relationships with your customers and prospects. So I'm going to click back onto my lead screen now, and we can use the search bar to find Brian, who we've been working with. And here's Brian. Let's say that we begin to work with him, things are going really well, and it's time to move him not just from a lead, but we think there's an opportunity there. So we're going to convert this lead into a contact and a deal in my sales pipeline. So to do that, I've selected Brian, I'll click Convert, And I'm presented with a couple of options. If you have a larger sales organization, your BDR team or business development reps would work out of the lead section. This is where they're qualifying the deals for you. And once there is an opportunity, they would then convert the deal, and that's when you would have the handoff from BDR over to an account executive or AE. So in this case, I'm asked to answer a few questions about this new opportunity that I'm created. I can even create a task, for example, follow up next week, and I can set a due date. So we'll say the 28th, that looks good, and I hit convert. This will automatically assign that new deal. It will convert it into my sales pipeline, and then I'm presented with a few options of where I'd like to go. In this case, I'm going to close that down, and I will show you my sales pipeline. When I click into my sales pipeline, this is something that I can personalize based on my sales process. So when you start up your account initially, you will say, this is the way that my sales process looks. You personalize it, and when I say personalize, I don't mean custom coding or development. You just point, click, and it's automatically set for you and synced to all of your devices. So in my case, my pipeline is incoming, qualified, proof of concept, quote, closing, and then closed. And I can see that deal that we just created is in my incoming stage, ready to be passed through my sales process. Now, as I open this new deal, I have a similar but little bit different view. All of my activity is automatically synced here, so I can see it, refer to it at any time, but I've also can now see that I have the company that it's associated with. I can see the person that's associated with this deal, and this is where I can really begin to track the entire process. Additionally, I can store documents with any of the deals. So if there's any documents that come up, maybe it's a contract, there's certain photos, there's PDFs that you want to store, you can do that in Cell. So in order to do that, I will select Add New, and this is where I can drag or drop or just upload. And in this case, I've got a very important image that I want to store with this opportunity, and I store that here, and it's now a part of this deal. Additionally, I can see that there's a section called Tickets, and this is part of the integration with Zendesk Support. So let me show you how that looks. The integration with Zendesk Support is important because it gives support teams the visibility into what's happening in the sales process, but it also gives sales teams the opportunity to see what's happening on the support side. You don't want to reach out for a renewal if you know that there's a ton of issues happening on the support side. And additionally, on the support side, you don't want to prolong and maybe draw out different answers if you know that this is a key customer at a pivotal point in the deal cycle. So sharing that information is critical. So I'll show you how you can do that with Sell and Support connected. So in order to see how that's done, let's first look at the support experience. And I've got that open in a new tab here. So if you're familiar with Zendesk Support, you'll recognize this view, and I can see that I have a couple of tickets that are in play here. And the first one is, how do I access my account? I can see the question has come in, and because I have the Sell app connected into Zendesk Support, I can see the information is synced over and the relevant companies and opportunities that it's associated with. So if I were to click on Adam Brooks, I'm then popped back over to Sell, and I can see the whole history there. Now, this is a view that a sales rep might be viewing, and if that's the case, they can see any applicable tickets over here on the right side of the screen and see the whole history of what's happening. So that's a great way to pass the information back and forth between sales and support. Now, the other thing that we see happen quite frequently is sales types of questions are appearing in the support queue. What do I mean by that? Well, let's jump back over into our Zendesk Support account. And if I look at my queue of tickets here, I see this one ticket called Features by Plan. And the initial question was, hi there, I love your product, but I don't know what plan is right for me. Do you know where I can learn about what's included in each product tier? This is a buying question, something that the sales team would love to address. So in order to connect them with the sales team, all I need to do is click Notify Sales on the right side of my screen, and this will give me a chance to add a few notes. In this case, I'll say, looks like someone interested in buying And when I click notify, this will automatically create this person in my Sell account. It will notify the sales team and give them a chance to follow up. So it's a great way to pass new leads from the support experience into the sales experience. And once we go into the Sell account, I can look at my new leads here, and we'll type in Brody Taylor. And here I can see that note has been passed automatically for me. So jumping back into the Sell account, here it is. Looks like someone interested in buying. It's all passed over seamlessly. So that's a great way to really connect your sales and support experience there. The next thing I'd like to show you is some of the sales pipelines. So I mentioned you can personalize the sales pipeline, and I'd like to show you how you can do that because it's a critical part of matching your sales process. So to personalize your sales pipeline, what you would do is go into the settings and select Pipeline on the left-hand side of the screen. In Pipelines, this is where I can set everything up, and maybe I don't want it to say quote, but I would rather it say Evaluate Proposal. What I can do here is type it in and hit Save. And that's all I have to do to customize my sales process. It's as easy as that. And once I'm done, it automatically saves into my whole account. As I begin to sell more and more and I want to understand how I'm doing in my sales process, I can join the reporting section to get a sense of all of my progress. So when I jump into the reports, we don't have time to go through all of these reports today, but what I would like to show you is the sales funnel report. And the sales funnel report is great because it gives you a picture of what your pipeline looks like and how the data has flown through it. So in this example, it's a super basic example, but it's important to illustrate how it works. So here we can see that this matches my sales process that we just created. Even the personalization that we did just moments ago is already in this report. And what this report's showing me is that I had 5 deals in the incoming stage, I had 2 deals on the qualified stage, and 1 deal moved through into proof of concept. So for me, I want to look and understand, okay, we've got 40% converting, 50% converting, but something's happening at this evaluate proposal stage. That's where, as a sales leader, I would want to look into this, understand what's happening in the process. Maybe my team needs training, maybe they need materials, but whatever the case is, I can identify it through the reporting in Sell. That's been your quick look at how to get started with your Sell account. Once you have everything set up on the web, be sure to download the mobile app, and you can have everything that you do on the web sync to the mobile and vice versa. If you don't have a Sell account yet, you can use the link below this video to get started. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks for tuning in to watch this video. If you've enjoyed this channel, be sure to like and subscribe to show your support and see more content like this.